Welcome to a new vlog.
Hello.
So this week I'm going to finish Finley Donovan Knocks Him Dead, continue my Patricia Briggs reread, and also start Grave Expectations by Sherry Priest. Is that her name?
I don't know.
I know nothing about this book. It could go horribly wrong.
That's probably only good for content, though. I'm going to probably read some comic books. I might possibly finish Malibu Rising. I don't know yet because I keep getting caught up in looking at other things that aren't that. I keep watching Dead by Daylight videos and consuming Batman content. We saw the Batman.
We did see the Batman.
It was wonderful.
Why do you say that when the last week you've just been telling me how you wished you liked it more and you feel disappointed?
Doesn't mean it's not wonderful.
Alright.
But give your opinion.
It was fine.
Robert Pattinson as Batman is absolutely...
There's stuff I liked and there's stuff I didn't like. The main thing I didn't like was the length, because you could really feel every second of that movie.
Yeah, but they have goth Bruce Wayne, played by Robert Pattinson, and I feel like that makes up for it. And there's Flying Squirrel Batman, and it's pretty great.
Alright. We'll see you next clip.
Successful first clip.
Okay, so I finished Moon Called. Obviously, I loved it. I don't know if I told you guys that I finished it. But yeah, loved it, obviously. Hi. I want to Finley Donovan Knocks Them Dead. And I'm like 2 minutes in. Basically, in the last book, she got a fish. She kept in a fishbowl, and I was just like, ugh, it's not worth the rant. I'll save you guys from my ire about fish bowls and how they're terrible. But this book opens up and the fish is dead, because of course the fish is dead because you kept him in a fish bowl. And they're flushing him down the toilet, and like, I can't not say something. Okay, the fish is dead because fish don't survive in fish bowls. It doesn't have a filter or proper space. I think it's a goldfish, and goldfish produce so much waste. They need a good filter. A goldfish should be in like at least a 30-gallon tank. Honestly, at least a 30-gallon tank. And the other thing with goldfish that people don't know is that they can actually live like almost 20 years if given proper care, but they usually only live a few weeks because of care like this. And you're not supposed to flush fish down the toilet because it's really bad for the environment. Throw them away. Just throw their little fishy body in the trash. Or, yeah, I suppose you could bury them in the backyard, but just throw their little fishy body in the trash. It's better. I hate saying that because I do like my fish, but when they die, I toss them. So, it's the best thing you can do. So I'm about halfway through Finley Donovan Knocks Him Dead, and I've heard a few other people talk about it, and I kind of have the same feeling, which is like, it's good. It has the same vibes and fun that the first book had, but it's just lacking something. It's not as compelling as the first one. And I find it strange because, like, the tone's the same, the characters are the same, like, it has the same high pace, fun stuff going on, but it just doesn't feel the same. I don't really know how to explain that other than to say it's just, it doesn't feel the same. I don't think it's like the novelty. Sailor has worn off or anything like that. I just think that it just feels different. Sailor. She's perfect and I love her so much. She's an angel. My little sailor girl. Yeah, that cage is empty, by the way. That was Daisy and Ash's cage. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll update you when I finish with my, like, final thoughts. For right now, I don't know. I'm kind of bummed, but also not really surprised, but also confused.
Guess what? It's Wednesday, and I haven't updated in a while because I'm irresponsible. I can make up other excuses, but I think we both know it comes down to me being irresponsible. I haven't listened to any, like, books, but again, I've been reading comics, so I do have something to say. I've been reading Batman Earth 1 by an author whose name I should have memorized before I started this clip. I apologize if you're watching this, Mr. Author Man, that I didn't memorize your name and say it, but If you are into Batman comics, you probably know what Earth 1 is. It's just like an alternate reality, like not quite Elseworlds, because Elseworlds is a little bit more, hold on, let me not lay down. Okay. Elseworlds is a little more out there, I think, than this. Like, for example, Elseworlds has like Gotham by Gaslight, which is Batman hunting down Jack the Ripper, and it has Red Rain, which is like vampire Batman, but this is just Batman with like a different origin story, kind of. It's tweaks here and there. For example, and spoilers ahead, obviously, like in the new Batman movie, Martha Wayne is an Arkham, which, if you don't know what that means, there's Arkham Asylum, which is where all of the bad guys get thrown when Batman has them arrested or taken in. And there's a whole entire story about Amadeus Arkham, who built it, and how like insanity runs in his bloodline, and it's all kinds of chaos. So in the new Batman, Bruce's mom, Batman's mom, is related to them. And I think obviously they must have gotten that from Earth 1, because as far as I know, there's no other comics where that's the case. Other things that are different is Alfred wasn't Bruce's butler. He was an old friend of Bruce's dad. He just showed up the day they were killed and took Bruce. There's different origins for Two-Face and Penguin, Killer Croc, just stuff like that. It's little tweaks here and there, and it's a very famous, I think, beloved collection of stories for Batman, and I'd never read them before. But I hadn't read Earth 1, and I'm kind of trying to read some of the more classic Batmans, hoping that I like them better than I liked Year 1, which I hate. I hate Batman Year 1. And don't come after me. I don't need to hear how I'm wrong for not liking it. I hate it. I hate it. But Batman Earth 1 came up, so I thought, oh, all right, I'll try that. And I don't really know how I feel about it, to be honest, which maybe makes for bad content, but I didn't really get what they were going for until the end of the first trade paperback, which, spoilers again, Harvey Bullock is in it. And if you know who he is, he's sometimes Jim Gordon's partner on the police force. And it shows, like, in the first Batman Earth 1, Gordon is dirty, and Bullock's like this bright-eyed, I want to help people kind of guy, and I didn't really get the point of the stories until the very end, where it showed him getting traumatized, and then he shows up at a liquor store and starts drinking, which, again, if you don't know that character, he's an alcoholic, and I think every instance I've ever seen him in. So it's like, oh, okay, so it's Batman, but with, like, stuff tweaked, like someone's reimagining of him almost. There's stuff I like. I like that stuff with Harvey. Didn't love that Gordon was like dirty at all, even though he turned around by the end of the first one, just because, I don't know, I think I'm a stickler for Jim Gordon being like a good guy, but I don't think there was a lot of changes that were made, in my opinion, that warranted the existence of this, which is, it sounds like a terrible thing to say, and maybe it is. I'm not saying it shouldn't exist, but for me, it doesn't feel like things are different enough to be like, yeah, this is a story that needed to be told and that I needed to read, because it seems like just Batman Year 1, Year 2 stories, but with details changed. And so far, it's kind of irrelevant that Bruce's mom is in Arkham, except in the sense that it caused some issues between him and his teenage girlfriend and her brother, who's Harvey Dent. I don't know, it just feels like, okay, so it's interesting, Alfred's not his butler. He didn't know him before he adopted him, basically. What are you gonna do with that? Nothing. And then, like, Oswald Cobblepot's the mayor. What are you gonna do with that? Not a lot. Bruce is bad at his job. What are you gonna do with that? I don't know. It's just, maybe I do know how I feel about it. I don't find it super entertaining. I read the first two. There's a third one, and then that's the end of the Year 1 saga, I guess. I'm hoping that one's better because it did set up that Harvey is not Two-Face. Harvey's sister is going to be Two-Face, I assume, or at least that's the teaser at the end of the first or second book. So we'll see how that goes. I'll hopefully let you know. I'm not sure what else I'm going to read. I tried to read a couple like novels. It didn't really work out. My heart wasn't in it. I think right now what I want to be reading is comic books because they're short and I can just get through them. If I'm being perfectly honest, I'm still feeling terrible about Wicked, and just I can't find a ton of motivation to do much of anything lately, I guess. I don't know. It's just like, it's a bummer, and I miss her a lot, and Wookie's a little under the weather, which is stressing me out, and her cage mates are also a little under the weather. Sarah's been giving them medicine every day to try and knock out their little cold, or it's that season of everyone's getting allergies, and it's not great for rats, so I should expect it, but I don't know. I guess I just feel kind of ho-hum, and I've been enjoying comic books and not much enjoying novels lately, and I guess I kind of go through phases like this where I don't read a ton of books. When I read a lot in a row that are kind of meh, I get pretty discouraged and I don't want to keep reading. That's what happened for sure. But then I read a bunch of comic books and most of them were awesome, and now I just want to read comic books. And there's a dilemma of, oh, I want to buy a bunch of comic books too because it's fun, but I'm going to be a good egg and not do that. But I'm going to try and read the third Earth one and tell you how it is. I'm hoping I like it because I hate not liking the popular issues of Batman. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's a me thing, but I really hate not liking popular stuff because I feel like super left out. Earth one, I think, is like one of the like classics. Am I wrong? I don't know. But we'll see how that goes, and I might possibly do Dark Victory, which is related to the Long Halloween arc. If you know, I think Jeff Loeb is the writer of that one, but it's like really great art. So we'll see. I'm gonna do some reading and chill out a little bit, and I hope you're having a better reading week than I am. So I just started volume 3 of Earth 1. I'm curious because it appears that Killer Croc is like friends with Bruce in this, and he even knows who he is because they had like an interaction in the sewers, and Killer Croc's like, just leave me alone. Everyone's lying about me and trying to hurt me. I'm just trying to live my life. So they're friends. I think that's interesting. I'm hoping it goes somewhere also very interesting. It kind of makes me think of, and I wonder if this was inspired by Earth 1, but in Detective Comics, I believe the ones written by James Tynion, Clayface is actually part of the kind of Bat family. Like Batwoman is there, Clayface, Spoiler, Bruce obviously, and I think, I don't know who else, but I thought that was interesting to see like Clayface in Detective Comics as like a protagonist. So I kind of like the idea of Killer Croc being friends with Bruce because it's like, it feels random but kind of fun. So I'm really hoping that it goes somewhere cool. And I guess even if it doesn't, that's just like an interesting thing to have like on the side over here. But I'm also noticing that these stories aren't like connected to each other necessarily. It's like each one is its own isolated story, and there's only 3. I always find that weird with trilogies, how sometimes you get like an episodic trilogy because 3 seems like a small number for something that's one-offs, I guess, because in theory they could have kept going with this for a while, and I'm pretty sure they were popular. But I don't know. I thought with 3 it would be like one connected story broken up, but that's not what it is so far. There's a chance 3 is connected to 2, but 2 wasn't really connected to 1. So again, we'll see what happens. I'll let you know. So I might have decided I love the 3rd volume of Earth 1 because there's a part where these 2 guys are in an alley abusing a dog, and Killer Croc shows up and scares them away and keeps the dog. The dog's just like, okay, I guess you're my dad now. And he named it Bat Dog, and it's really adorable, and I like that a lot, and that's cool. Also, they're finally tying in Martha being in Arkham, so her father turned out to be alive, and we're going to see where that goes. So they did bring it back, which I'm glad, because if they wasted something like that, I would have been really disappointed. But so far, I'm interested. So we might be able to pull it back, and I might give these an overall pretty good rating, because the changes that they made are sometimes very interesting. Hello, I'm lounging. I don't feel like setting up, but I did finish Batman Earth 1 Volume 3, which apparently only came out last year, and the first one came out in 2014. So they're kind of recent, but not really. But the author, Jeff Johns, I believe, said that Volume 3 will be his last one, but he did end it with the last page is literally the Joker. It's like, I'm the Joker, baby. You know what I mean? That's what it was like. I laughed, not in a good way, because, like, I knew this was gonna happen too. I knew that if you didn't have the Joker pop up in the story, that they're gonna do this tease thing, because that's what everyone always does all the time with absolutely everything. But I thought it was interesting that he did that when he had no intention of continuing the story, because he said Volume 3 is his last one. Now, obviously, I've heard that before from a lot of people, and I end up doing more, which could happen. And if it did, that would be interesting, because I'm curious. But the design for the Joker, I'm gonna send Sarah a picture if I remember, God willing. But it's a lot, and I think it's silly, and I feel bad because you know, I know you're supposed to take Joker seriously. With all these fanboys who are obsessed with the Joker lately, I have a hard time. And then you add this stunning look on top of it, and I just can't do it. But anyway, yeah, the third volume was good. It was fine. I'm not going to probably want to collect them just because they were interesting, but not so good that I'm like, oh, I'm going to want to read that again. But they did do something with the Arkham thing, and it was okay. But, you know, if he decides to do a fourth volume, we'll see. That's when the Joker would come up. Maybe it'll be good. Or maybe he knew he couldn't do good with Joker, and that's why he didn't do it. We'll never know, probably. But we might know. We'll probably know, honestly, yeah. Because that's how comic books work. So.
I don't actually remember the last time I updated you, but I'm not, like, I don't got, like, 8 books to update you on or anything like that. I'll just reiterate my feelings on Finlay Donovan, I guess. So, with Finlay Donovan, Knocks Him Dead, I felt like the first half was, I don't know, it had the same energy, the same fun, the same, like, none of the characters changed. It had all the same stuff as the first one, but it just kind of fell short for some reason. I just couldn't connect. And the second half was starting to feel the same way, even though things were, like, getting like, much crazier than the first half. But it wasn't until I'd say the last quarter of the book that I really connected with it, so I ended up giving it 4 stars because I did really enjoy that last quarter of the book. And then I read Cry Wolf, which I just finished, and Finlay Donovan Knocks Him Dead is like a romantic suspense cozy mystery kind of book, by the way. Gonna go check out the trash people getting their stuff? Yeah. They're gonna come collect their stuff. Look at you, beautiful. They're gonna scare you? Aww. Aww. And Cry Wolf is a urban fantasy about werewolves. So that one is the first in the Alpha and Omega series. It came out like halfway through the Mercy Thompson series, which is the same series that it's a part of. But so like I was thinking that it's probably interesting for people who were reading the series from the beginning, because they probably didn't have much investment in this, because it comes out later, but it takes place earlier in the series, so you know that nothing that happens is going to affect the world overall, so it might be hard to get invested in it. And like, it's not one of my favorites. Like, I really get into the Alpha and Omega series during book 3. The first 2 I enjoy, but they're just not quite there for me. like, in terms of absolute love. I still like them a lot. We're nitpicking here, obviously. So yeah, I just finished that, and I'm gonna start Grave Reservations by Sherry Priest, and I have no idea what it's about. I'll let you know when I know. Alright, I'm like 30 minutes in to Grave Reservations. So it's a mystery about a woman who is psychic, and I believe a cop who she saves, and I think he's gonna ask her to help with a case. I think that's what's going on. I don't know. I still haven't read the synopsis. But yeah, so far I like it pretty well. It's upbeat, it's nice, and the male character's name is Grady Merritt, and I have a rat named Merritt, so that's honestly a big plus for me. So I'm a little more than halfway through Grave Reservations, and I just kind of find it boring, like, just kind of boring. So yeah, she is a psychic, and he is asking her help on a case, and she's also trying to solve a case that's personal to her. And all that's fine, like a little predictable. Like, what the hell is he at? Huh. A little predictable, but not like nothing so off-putting that I couldn't enjoy it. I don't know if it's me or if it's the book. I'm just bored. And I don't know if it's me, because I felt this way like for a few books now, and I'm very distractible at the moment for some reason. So like, I don't want to necessarily blame the book if it's me, but also I don't know. There's not a lot of, like, there's some quirks in it, but there's not a lot of personality to it. The writing's fine. The characters are okay. There's nothing interesting about them though. I think that's my problem, is like, you know, in comparison to, say, Finley Donovan, Finley and Vero, you know, Vero she's got a fun personality, and she's got like a past, and Finley has all this stuff going on in her life, and then these two characters don't. Like, he has a daughter that's almost never brought up, and all she's got is this murder case she's trying to solve, the personal one, and I just don't care. It sounds so mean. So yeah, we'll see what I feel by the end of it, but that's kind of my thought process at the moment. Also, the Mercy Thompson book got pushed back again. The next one, it was supposed to come out this month, and then got pushed back to June, I think, and now it's gotten pushed back to August. I understand why, so, but hopefully it doesn't get pushed back again. So it's Tuesday night. Late for me. I go to bed in like 20 minutes. 20, 30 minutes. And I haven't done a clip since Friday, I don't think. Normally our video would go up tomorrow. We have not done an outro. I have not edited. Nor do we have a thumbnail.
I have not done a clip this week.
And you may be wondering, Sarah, why does this keep happening? How does it keep happening? You've lied to us. I don't know. It's happened. There's not going to be a video tomorrow.
Well, we don't know when this is going up, so maybe in their world there is going to be a video tomorrow. We don't know.
All I can say is that time is meaningless. Even more so when you're mentally ill.
Is this our outro?
No.
What is this?
This is just...
I didn't get told what this was. She told me to sit on her bed and record her, so I don't really know what's happening.
This is me explaining why we have another 2-week-long vlog.
Fair enough.
I don't think I have enough clips for 1 week, do you?
I don't know. I could probably whip some up tonight.
No, well, it still wouldn't be out on time. So yeah, this vlog is either middling in length or extremely long, and I don't know. Things got away from us.
Yeah. A little.
I don't remember the last time I updated you or what book I was on.
What book was she reading, Cujo?
Was it Grave Reservations? It was very bleh.
I can give you some comics to read.
Always hustling over there, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
So, I guess I'll see you next clip.
Or you'll see me next clip.
Or you'll see her next clip. And we'll have another 4 days of this vlog. Maybe.
Dax.
Possibly.
What book are you reading? So you might have just seen a pretty messy clip with Sarah explaining that we have been having a hard time recording this last week. Just we're kind of busy, honestly. Like some stuff's popped up and we're doing that. But I'm here to update you with what I'm reading. Still no novels and still comic books. I'm on a mission to have every single comic book on my entire shelf read. I was going to say by a certain point, but I actually didn't come up with any kind of deadline for myself, which is probably better because if I came up with a deadline, then I would find a way to make this not fun for myself. And I don't want to do that because it's comic books and it's great. So I will show you what I'm reading right now, which I should have updated you on about 200 pages ago. But again, I was distracted. I have a dentist appointment on Thursday. There's a lot of stuff going on. Look at her. We are reading this omnibus. That's how far in I am. I know I should have updated you. This is Super Sons by Peter Tomasi, mostly. I am a good chunk in it. That is Jonathan Kent and that is Damian Wayne. These are the two beautiful leads of this story. The basic premise is Superboy and Robin are not very good at getting along with each other, so their dads kind of make them work together so they get along, and then they start doing like missions together and stuff like that. So it's fun little adventures. It's definitely more geared towards kids than most of the comic books I read. But I wouldn't say that this was like for little kids if you're an adult and you wanted to read it. Like I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of it. It's actually kind of my favorite stuff I've been reading lately. There's a lot of funny stuff in there because I think Peter Tomasi is like this absolutely amazing writer. He's always funny with Damian and sad at the same time, which I absolutely love. But I don't want to say what these stories are about. There's a lot of random ones that are different anyway. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll check back in when I have made more progress.
Don't you love how I'm backlit? Alright, so since we're just making this 2-week reading vlog now, time for an update. Alright, I finished Hunting Ground, which is the second in the Alpha and Omega series. I still enjoy it quite a bit. The first two of the Alpha and Omega are not necessarily my favorites, but there's a lot that I enjoy about Hunting Ground. Like, there's this character named Sunny who is just, like, so tragic. And she's a little bit, you know, woman in a refrigerator, but like, I don't know. But yeah, so I finished that, and I'm about to start American Demon, and I'm actually very nervous to start it. I have no idea what it's about. It's just the next in the Hollow series. I know that it takes place 3 months after the end of the last one. Ignoring that blog, I'd be perfectly fine if she completely changed the epilogue. I just didn't care for it either time I read it. So yeah, but I'm nervous because she took a several-year break before coming back to the Hollows. Not on purpose. The Hollows was supposed to be over, but she decided to continue the series when, you know, her sales started to go down, which I know sounds so mean, but that is what happened. I was watching her social media, and I know that her sales were really bad, and she almost completely killed her own brand. Unfortunately, like, just no one followed her after the Hollows, which I do find strange. I don't know what happened there. She didn't really have any other series come out during the Hollows. Maybe that's the problem, is no one trusted that she could do another series. To be fair, I did try to read the draft for like 3 times, and I disliked it so much that I gave up completely every single time. So maybe they were right to worry about that. But yeah. So yeah, I'm nervous about it because, you know, it's not the best circumstances in which to create, so let's hope for the best. I haven't even started the book yet, really. I'm on the preface, and the thing is, the preface is just listing absolutely every single character, their relation to Rachel, and everything that happened in the Hollows books, And I wish I could have gone back and told Kim Harrison, we don't need this. The people who are reading this book, we don't need it. We know. We remember.
What's up? I've moved positions. My hair looks like I've been through an entire day of stuff, which I have, including the dentist, which I think I mentioned last time I had a clip that I was very stressed about that, and it turned out to be nothing. So, yeah, so stressed about the dentist, turned out to be nothing. My teeth are fine. That's pretty cool. And I'm here to update you with my reading this week because we're doing our double vlog, possibly triple if we can't get our act together. I don't know yet. We'll hope it's a double because I have a lot of clips. But I have finished Super Sons by Peter Tomasi. Mostly by Peter Tomasi. He did a lot of it, but it wasn't just him. I'm going to set this down because it's really, really heavy. So give me 1 second. Unfortunately, I don't feel like I could say a lot about it because it's kind of a lot of just like one-off little adventures for the most part, and one, I don't want to spoil them, and two, I just don't have a ton to say. Not because they're not good, because they're really fun, but because it's just fun adventures. What can you really say about that? But I think I said this last time I did a clip, but I do recommend it if you're a fan of Damian Wayne or Jonathan Kent. They have Jonathan Kent in the Superman and Lois show on the CW, if you watch that, but that's nothing like this Jonathan Kent. Not only is John in the book 10, but he's just completely different. I don't quite know why they have the character in the show named Jonathan Kent when he's not only nothing like him, but he has like a twin, so it's obviously a complete reworking of just the entire character. Whatever, I can go on about that, but I won't. So I'm on this mission to read every comic book on my shelf, which I take more seriously than my mission to like read every book on my you can't see my bookshelves, but I'm gesturing to them. I'm technically also on a mission to read every book on my bookshelf proper, but that one I am more deeply putting off because there's some books I just don't feel like reading. But in my mission to get my comics done, which is just a whole lot less to deal with, I might be choosing from either Gotham by Gaslight. Oh, I love that reflection. Look at that. You can see my face blurry right there. Or I might read this, which I just got. I haven't done a book haul in a while, so a lot of these books I'm showing you, I feel like you haven't seen in a proper haul, which you'll see again if you watch that. So this one I'm probably going to start sooner because I literally just bought this a couple days ago at like a real comic book shop. We managed to stop by. This, I believe, was cited as some of the inspiration for the new Batman movie with Robert Pattinson. I had never heard of it before, which is weird because I feel like I've heard a lot of the like big, important Batman stories. And this has art by Tim Sale in it, which if you don't know, did Long Halloween and all that, and I love that art. Oh, and I did get this, which I'll show you real quick. Haven't hauled it yet, but give me 1 second. I have to move my Super Sons. I got this big, thick omnibus of the Long Halloween story arc. Look at her. She's so beautiful. That too I will put down because it's very heavy. But I've read half of that. I still have 2 stories to read in that before I'm finished with it. I think I said my thoughts on Long Halloween when I read it. I was not lukewarm on it. It was good, but I didn't love it. And I've definitely said my thoughts on Dark Victory, which, as a recap, I did love. So I'm hoping I like the prequel story with the villains and the Catwoman story. Only time will tell. My next choice will most likely be Batman Ego and Other Tales, which I think is mostly Batman and Catwoman. That's the impression I'm getting. There's like, it's a very cartoony kind of style. If you can, how can you not tell? I can't see what you can see. Oh, that's cute. Anyway, not great angles. But, you know, it is what it is. I am going to probably read this and update you on how I feel about it. So thank you for bearing with this very hasty late night clip. They're all kind of like that though, huh? I'm in my chair again. Okay, so I did start reading the Batman Ego and Other Tales book. I don't know what year this was written. I'm going to assume maybe 15, 20 years ago. I'll flip back and see for myself and try to remember to say it. I just wanted to stop and say, oh, I was enjoying it. Like the first story, Ego, I really like. I'm now on Selena's Big Score or Catwoman's Big Score, and I was enjoying it. And then I get to a part where Selena uses the R word, and like I realize a lot of these comics are slightly older, and not only are the comics older, but they're written by people who at the time were older. So you run into a lot of stuff like this, like in Ego, one of the goons or whatever called Batman Fruitcake, which like on the list of things to call people, not that big of a deal, I guess, but you tend to run into a lot of those kinds of jokes where, depending on the writer and the time period, there's lots of the, oh, you dress up in tight clothes, like it's gay jokes, whatever. I try to ignore it for the most part because it's just like, what am I gonna do? Same with like in that Harley and Ivy book I read not too long ago. Like they had Harley do the like Nazi salute because Pam was like giving her orders, and it's just like, did no one tell you maybe not do that? That one still gets me. Like I look at that book a lot because it's on my shelf, and I there's just a twinge of sadness that Paul Dini made this character Jewish, and then in the story he wrote still had her do a Nazi salute as a joke. Like, anyway, yeah, I could go off about that for a while, but I just wanted to pop in and say I was enjoying this book, and then like the R word popped up, and I was just like, oh. But I'm gonna real quick check when this was written because I'm very curious. So, okay, it looks like the Selena's Big Score was written in the year 2000, and God, I can't remember like what era kids were using that word a lot, but I think it was really, really bad when I was in like middle school, freshman year in high school. So what, 13, how old was I? So like 2005. So yeah, I guess I'm not surprised, just disappointed. Hello, I'm currently getting rats out of a cage. So if my phone falls over, know that it's their fault. I'm gonna pick up Wookie to start with. She's gonna help me review Batman Ego. Oh, look. Okay, out of my shoulder. There you go. So I just finished Batman Ego and Other Tales, and I don't know if I said what it is, but it's mostly based off the Ego story, which is not even the biggest actually. It's just like the face of the collection. And I'm going to judge it on the two biggest stories in it, which were Ego and Selena's Big Score, because there's a couple shorter ones in there, but they're so short that it feels like, I don't know, I can't really judge based on that. So I'll start with Ego. I think Darwin Cook, I believe, is the writer and illustrator. I loved Ego. It's basically, well, the whole thing feels like character studies. The first one is Bruce, and the second one is obviously Selena. But Ego is a character study on Bruce and like why he is the Batman and his relationship to it and his decision to, oh, you can't even see, his decision to either quit or remain Batman. And I adored it. I thought it was absolutely excellent. It was very, it made me think a little bit of Whatever Happened to the Cape Crusader by Neil Gaiman, except way better. No offense to Neil Gaiman or that story, because I also enjoy that one. But this one was definitely superior. And I would give that story 5 stars. And then there's Selena's Big Score, which is the biggest story in the entire book. Oh my god. I didn't like that one as much. It could be because I love Bruce so much that naturally I'm gonna give the Bruce story, like, it has more connection to me. I don't know, but the Selena one was just kind of boring because it was more about the plot than any kind of study on who she was, so I found it a little bit boring. It didn't hit home or anything, so that one I'd give like 3 stars. The plot is Selena trying to make $25 million with a little heist that she is planning with a shady individual who she has a relationship with. It's fine. And the other little short stories I also enjoy. There's a couple black and white ones and pretty short little pieces, and I enjoyed it. If you're a big Batman fan, especially the aspect of him that is like studying his darkness and his choices, definitely a really great one for that. It felt a little bit like it would be an episode of the Batman animated series, but a little darker. So I overall, Wookie's trying to knock my phone over. I overall really enjoyed it. I could see myself reading it again for sure. Not necessarily the Selena part unless I'm looking to change my mind on it. But yeah, those are my thoughts. And I don't know I'm going to move on to, but I know it's not going to be tonight because I'm pretty sure it's 2 in the morning. So, good night to you. Enjoy the sounds of the rats chewing on their treats. I actually have to clean out their cage a little, so see you in the next clip.
So I'm about a third into American Demon by Kim Harrison, which is, you know, the kind of reboot of the Hollow series. And, you know, it's fine. Like, it's fine. I'm enjoying it. Like, not necessarily 4 stars worth, but almost, you know, but I am only a third in. But, it just has a different feel to it, which I thought would happen, but not for the reasons that you would think. Because, like, some of the characters aren't acting like themselves, which is fine, kind of, just because of how this series ended. Like, you know, some of them are happier, they're all in different places in their lives now. It's fine. But the thing that makes it the most different, that I find the strangest, is that she's not writing it the same way. And what I mean by that is that, you know, she had certain descriptors for everything. Like, she talked about Trent's hair a lot and how it was wispy and, like, such a pale blonde it was almost white. And, like, the tips of his ears would get red when he was mad, and, like, all that kind of stuff. And none of that's come up. And then she talked about Rachel's hair a lot because it was super curly and would get tangled and stuff all the time. And, like, with Ivy, it was, like, all, like, gray voice, like, silken, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's all, like, gray and silk and stuff like that. And she's not describing anyone like that. And I don't know. It makes the book feel like it has less personality. And I don't like that. So, it's just kind of strange.
So, I'm currently watching Superman and Lois, which I'd show you if I could flip the camera while I'm recording, but I can't, so you'll have to take my word for it. But on my Batman kick, I've decided, obviously, to do a little transition over to Superman. I don't have a ton of Superman books, but what I do have is Superman, Batman by mostly Jeff Loeb. I heard about this recently, and I went and found a paperback, and as far as I know, it's just fun little adventures with Batman and Superman. And that's kind of that's what I've heard the most about this particular series, is that it's not very impactful, but it's fun. So I'm okay with that, even if it's not very good, I guess. I don't know. But I like the first few pages of it. My copy is not in great condition. I think it's a little bit old, but that's okay. I am hoping I enjoy it, and if I do, they have volume 2 of the omnibus out now, so I could, if I had a lot of money to burn, buy those. So we'll see how I feel. That's part of why I'm reading this now, because, like, I love me an omnibus, and the one for the first 48 issues of this is really pretty. So we're going to see how I feel about this. And if I don't like it very much, then I won't get more. And if I do, we'll see. Oh my God, it's Wookie. I gave her a big giant macadamia nut and she's in her space pod thirsting for more, which I won't give her because she'll get very chunky. There's actually a lot of snacks in that space pod that she could be eating and she's ignoring them. So that's on her. Anyway, I'm going to get into this Superman Batman The World's Finest Team Up, and it's written by Jeff Loeb, who did The Long Halloween, which I have a new appreciation for, or at least Dark Victory, less so with Long Halloween, but I'm hoping that I enjoy his writing here too. So we'll see. It's been a good weekend so far. How about you guys?
Welcome to the end of the vlog. It's been a week.
Yeah. Well, it's been 2.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a couple of weeks here in the Hall household. Anyway. What did I read? I read, well, I'm in the middle of one of the Kim Harrisons. What's that one called? American Demon. I have mixed feelings about it because it's like, it's good, but she's clearly lost like touch with the characters and the style of writing she originally used, so it's kind of throwing me a little bit because it just doesn't feel quite right. And then what else did I read? I don't even know. Oh no. I read a few Patricia Briggs. That's what I know.
It's been hectic. You know what she read. You don't need her to repeat it. You don't even need me to... I read comics. I'm not going to repeat what I read. 1, because I don't remember. 2, because you literally just watched us talk about it.
So yeah, the dogs aren't in here because they were being annoying.
We were a little overstimulated by some stressful things, so we thought it'd be best if the dogs weren't in here.
So yeah, what are we reading next week? I'm going to finish American Demon. I also have $1 Million Demon, and I want to get to a couple of Patricia Briggs.
I'm probably just going to pick some more comic books. I don't know which ones yet, but I like to pick randomly.
We're also hoping in April to start posting other videos again.
Yeah, it's been very hectic.
Yeah.
We have some ideas for some fun games.
Yeah, we have plans, and hopefully we'll be able to get through them in April. We're not making any promises, but there should be at least 1 or 2 extra videos.
The thing is, the kinds of videos that a lot of other booktubers put out, and not like, I don't want this to come out like I'm shading or anything, but like a lot of those videos are like TBRs or wrap-ups, and we don't personally love doing that. Like if other people were like, hey, we wish you would, we would start, but like me picking out what I know I'm not going to end up reading just seems like a waste of your time and my time, so we don't like doing TBRs.
We probably will do wrap-ups. But TBRs is a rough one.
I just don't like TBRs because I feel like so much of the time I don't read my determined list of books and I don't want to feel pressured, and I don't want to come at the end of the month and be like, I didn't read any of the stuff I told you I was going to read. So
I do usually read my like determined list because the library determines my list and it says you have 3 weeks to read this or you lose it.
Yeah.
That's how I determine my list.
Yeah. But I've been reading my own books lately, so I don't have that issue.
I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about it, but I did also lose another rat this week. Welsie's tumor just got to be a little too much for her, so I put her down.
Yeah. Yep.
It's okay. Here's the thing.
We have bad timing.
I got a lot of rats in a very short amount of time. I'm gonna do it again, because I never learn. There's several kinds of rat owners. There's those who learn and get out early. And then there's masochists.
I think the problem is, like, it's gonna get a little worse from here because we all 3, us and our friend, have this entire litter of rats that were bred from a person who didn't know what they were doing.
They have horrible genetics.
I lost Wicket, who was in that group. Our friend lost
the aunt,
2,
and Wicket's brother already.
And then another one of Wicket's brothers is going to go probably on Monday from the same thing that got Wicket. So I've been having a hard week. Not to make this about myself, but I will. Yeah,
so like,
it's just been really, like, it's tough to lose bunch of pet. Like, I understand people might not look at a rat the same way they look at a dog, but to us we do. So it feels like we've lost like 10 dogs in like a couple months, and buddy, I wouldn't recommend it. It's really hard. I'm never getting rats again because I can't handle this.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. It's so difficult.
It's not always rainbows and sunshine
it
around
almost
here.
Never is.
But we come at you with a smile anyway.
Not me.
You smile.
Ironically.
Okay, we come at you with smiles and sarcasm anyway.
Yeah.
That's what I can offer.
So,
anyway.
We might have a few more of these 2-week vlogs because the fact is when you lose a pet, you don't really want to sit there and be like, so I read a comic book. It's because I'm not reading. If we don't have a lot of content, it's because we're not reading.
Yeah.
Because we're depressed because our animals are poorly bred. But it's like, well, if we hadn't got them, the lady said she literally said that if we didn't take the rat that was pregnant, she was going to kill it. So
yeah, she was going to feed her to a snake.
So what do you do?
Snake people, I'm not saying your snake should die. I'm saying I didn't want my rat to die.
Eat frozen.
Yeah.
Don't risk the life of your snake and some poor baby rat.
If you don't know, snakes are often mangled or even killed by their live prey, so it's actually best to feed frozen.
Also, please just don't give baby rats to a snake. Can you imagine? Oh my god, I hate it. I don't like snake people. I'm sorry. I hate snakes.
Yeah, she hates snakes. I like all animals, but snakes I just don't vibe with.
So we took in these babies. We didn't know she was pregnant at the time, but she was a baby rat.
Yeah, she was like 8 weeks old, maybe.
Yeah, the lady said, if you don't take her, I'm going to feed her to my snake. And it's like, what are we supposed to do? So we did this like shady deal in a parking lot, and now my wicket is dead, and we're about to lose a whole bunch more in this litter. And sometimes it makes me tired, and I don't want to read comic books, and that's the God's honest truth. Other booktubers are like happy, and like Emma Books is always like so sunshiny. Gabby reads is sunshiny.
It's not always rainbows and sunshine, but I can smile for you. That's all I can offer.
Never rainbows and sunshine. I think we are the dreariest, saddest book channel I've ever seen, which shouldn't surprise me, but it does disappoint me. Are we the only ones with this vibe? Are there sadder people?
I don't know.
Gabby reads is just like always just like
She's
excited.
so happy.
She's excited about being alive.
I love it when she posts the vlog because I know it's going to be high energy and fun.
Gabby, if you're watching this, and I assume you are, how do you do that? How are you just happy all the time? Please help me. I'll wear your winter ween sweaters if you tell me how to not be miserable all the time.
Alright. I hope you enjoyed this vlog.
Can't say I did.
We will see you in the next one.
Probably.
Please like, comment, and subscribe. It'll make our day.
For pity, if anything else.
Goodbye.